Right, sausages. We've just come off stream and we finished the Edge of Fate campaign, and then shortly after, I was one of the viewers told me to go watch a review on said DLC. So DLC, the whole thing as a whole. This was the review essentially. It was reviewed yesterday, so it's not even. It's like a day after the game's been updated and released with the new expansion. Someone's already put a review out expressing their thoughts. Now that's, fine, whatever. My problem with said review is that it's completely and utterly unjustified. And as someone who is a Bungie creator who left the review, I'm not the person who did leave it, it blows my mind of how stupid it actually is and how it's not critical in any way, shape or form. If you want a good review of said expansion, I would recommend Waffles. His review on it I feel is a lot fairer and a lot more open-minded. And again, I know it's all opinionated. I like the expansion. I thought it was really good. I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. I'm sorry if others aren't. Doesn't give you the right to shit on the game though, right? Anyway, Waffles' review is a lot more critical than the other one. Now, I'll bring up the points first, and then I'll say who the person is. I have no problem with saying who they are. Their video's out for you to watch anyway, so it doesn't matter. I personally feel it's not acceptable to be putting such negativity on a game as much as he did. So essentially, to summarise the review, I apologise as well. I'm going to be coughing and making some horrible noises, but I've got man flu, so you're going to have to get on with it. Essentially, his points were that he didn't like the ball. He doesn't like the armour, that you have to grind for it. Excuse me. Doesn't like the portal. Doesn't like how greyed out everything here is. I personally like this. I feel like it's very Destiny 1-esque. It looks a lot clearer, etc. Doesn't like the portal. Feels like everything looks bare. Doesn't like the fact that you have to grind what have to, being the key words there, have to, implying you are forced to do one mission to get to the max light for the raid. Bearing in mind, Bungie said that once you do the campaign on Legendary difficulty, you will be gear ready. So do with that what you will. He gave the campaign a 2 out of 10. A 2 out of 10. He said it's marginally better than Curse of Osiris. I'm sorry, are we forgetting that Lightfall existed? That was really negatively received. Again, I don't feel like any expansion has been awful. I'm just here for aliens being shot in the face by me and having cool superpowers, right? That's all I want. I feel like that's all we all want. I feel like we've just got lost in some bullshit for some reason. Anyway, excuse me. Back to said his feelings on the game. So again, he didn't like that you have to go to a room on more than one occasion. Okay. He felt like Bungie didn't try. Well, he didn't say he felt. He actually said they didn't try, which is two different things. And he also said it's a swing and a miss. Now, the person I'm on about is GXR SR Clyde, whatever the fuck his name is. Honestly, I watched the review on stream, said that he likes the game, but there's no passion behind his voice. Again, I don't know the bloke as a human being, but on face value, first feelings are always your most honest and the most real. So my feelings after that review are that he's pouring out negativity to anyone who watches it. You know, if I'm a new player to Destiny and I watch his review and I see that he's just shitting on it from a great height non-stop, I'm just going to be like, oh, well, I'm not going to buy that then. Or his feelings will then spread across to other people, meaning that they've bought it, they're then going to feel shit about it. And it's like, I don't know what happened, right? I don't know what happened where everyone changed from it was simple days. You just log on, you do your shit, and you log off, and that was it, right? I get that these people do it for a living. I understand that, but ultimately your audience isn't there for the game you're playing. Your audience is there for you. So go play something else. You know, he said it's boring, not interesting, etc. If that's the case, go play something else, man. Like, there are millions of games out there that you could go and play and enjoy and have a good time at. Go do it, man. I don't see the problem with going and playing another game. Instead, what he's chosen to do, and others have chosen to do, I started watching a review from the geezer who writes for Forbes. I had to turn that off immediately because excuse my language, he pissed me off straight away. By not even going on about the in-game stuff, just going on about the player count. It was the least pre-ordered thing. Jesus Christ. Let's just make one thing crystal clear, right, that no one seems to go on about. This game is one of a kind. There's no other game like it. Other games have come out, been quoted Destiny killers. They've killed themselves. Anthem, Outriders. There's probably a few more out there, but those are the two that spring to mind. They're both dead in the war, like they're done. Yet Destiny carries on because we all love playing the game. And he said this. He says he likes play. He says he loves the game. Then why do you not give an honest review then? Why are you shitting on it and spreading such a negative message to new players or returning players? Why? Not one. The only positive thing he said was that the storytelling was good. And it's like, yeah, the campaign, in my opinion, was one of the best ones up there. So let's break down some of his points. So his first point, the ball. You knew the ball was coming. It's a ball. Grow up. I didn't really like turning into the ball, but it didn't impact my feelings towards the story or how it was being told or the expansion as a whole, just because the ball was there. You knew it was coming. Like, come on. Second, don't like the fact you have to grind for armour. It's a fucking looter shooter. What else do you expect? Like, anyway, moving on. Excuse me. Third bit, didn't like the fact he sometimes went into the same room more than once. I mean, for Taken King, we went on to Dreadnought loads of times. Beyond Light, we went on to Neptune loads of times. Not Neptune, Europa loads of times. Every DLC, we go into somewhat of a similar room every time. Kepler is a multi-tiered destination. I personally feel that the planet's really cool, especially in the last mission. Without giving any spoilers away, the last mission, when you turn around and look at where you've just come from, it's unreal. The skybox is insane. This game feels different this time around to me personally. When I loaded it up and I saw that I had 10 power, I was immediately taken back to like Destiny 1. The music at launch, Destiny 1. Everything just feels a lot better in my opinion. I had a lot of fun with the campaign. But anyway, we'll get on to my feelings in a minute. And then to say that Bungie didn't try is insane. Like, do you realise how insane you sound? They've made this DLC, but bear in mind, it's been out for 2 days at this point. Honestly, I'm trying not to say some awful things here, because it does get on my nerves. But the game's been out for 2 days. That is all. 2 days. And there's already, not just him, there's loads of other people as well shitting on this game. And I personally, I just don't understand it. There are things in Destiny that I have not liked, right? But I do the genius thing of not playing the game when it's something I don't like. For example, Rite of the Nine. I didn't think that was as good as Into the Light. I didn't feel like the changes made within the dungeons were as good as they could be, personally. I made a video about what I feel would have made Rite of the Nine better. I would have preferred it if it was a Pantheon sort of mode. I would have preferred it if there was an exotic weapon at the end of it, maybe an exotic weapon for Prophecy, the dungeon as a whole. Different armour, looking armour. I feel like that would have made Rite of the Nine a little bit better for me personally. That's just me being selfish. I feel like a few others would agree. Excuse me. But the main thing I have a problem with these reviews, again, they're not reviews because they're not being critical. Waffles was the only one that I've seen was being critical correctly. So fair play's Waffles. That was my first time watching him. Fair play. But my issue, even on Waffles, was the fact that they would say they didn't like something, especially Clyde, but not say how they would fix it. So in my opinion, you don't have the right to moan about it. If you yourself can't come up with an idea that's good enough to replace what you played, in your opinion, then you shouldn't moan or do reviews. It's as simple as that. In my opinion, I don't personally feel that if you come to an argument and don't tell me a reason why you would change something or how you would change it to make it better in your personal experience, your argument's invalid, essentially. That's like me saying, for example, I don't like Crucible because it's shit or boring, and then you go in, okay, why? And I go, oh, it's just boring. Same maps, meh. That's not good enough. If someone says, why don't you like Crucible? And I go, oh, I just feel like the special ammo regeneration system isn't what it used to be. I'm a big fan of how it worked in Destiny 1. I feel like maybe the shields are a bit too strong. Maybe I would like a mode where there's no supers. Maybe I would like a mode where there's supers all the time, etc. At least there's reasons. We had a perfect example on stream. Ray essentially doesn't like what you see in front of you, the portal. He preferred the Pathfinder and essentially said it would be better if they incorporated the reward system into the Pathfinder, so each time you went through a Pathfinder dot, the rewards got better as you went. I personally think that's a good idea, and I don't have a problem with that. That's absolutely fine. No issue with that whatsoever, because said why you were unhappy, and you told me how you would fix it. If you say that, not a problem. If you say you don't like Gambit, and I ask you why don't you like the best game in game mode in the game, I love Gambit. I think Gambit's unreal, personally. I think it's one of the funnest modes in the game if you're there with 3 other people. Excuse me. And you say, oh, it's shit. Again, without that justification, without that critical thinking, without that reason why you don't like it and what you would do different, I don't consider your argument valid at all. Everyone's problem, the main problem everyone seems to be having at the minute is this, and he brought this up as well, is this. So, Encore Exotic Mission. You can customise it, you can put some modifiers on it, like this. And as you can see on the right hand side, the reward goes up. So we do that, and it's now A tier rewards. So that is how you get higher armor. That's how everyone's trying to get to 200, right? And repeat. But the whole point of an MMO, RPG, whatever you want to call it, it's a looter shooter, right? The whole point of a looter shooter is to grind and to put that effort in to get rewarded, right? And I incredibly dislike it when people say they have to do it. No, you don't have to do it. You're choosing to do it because you want to do the raid and you want to be in the best position possible. That is your choice. Therefore, again, you can't really shit on it because it's the only thing at the moment that gets you to 200 quickly. You can do Crucible from my understanding and get to a good position. Bungie said to get raid ready, to get gear ready for the raid, do campaign or legendary. Done. If you do the campaign or legendary, you're there. If people are wanting to get to level 200, that's on them. If you want to put the effort in, go do it, but don't moan about it. The whole point of this game is to go and grind. That's the whole point of it. Don't just come back and bitch about it because you don't like it and then push your negative thoughts onto your audience, which is then going to cause them to talk to their friends and etc, etc, etc. And then Destiny's going to... I don't personally think Destiny will ever die until they choose when to stop. How they stop it, I don't know. But there is no other game like Destiny. Destiny has been out for over 10 years nearly. Yes, there's been ups and downs. Yes, there's been issues. But that doesn't give the right for people to come and shit on it non-stop. That's all I'm seeing at the moment. And it's incredibly frustrating because these are the same people that still play the game. We had a perfect example yesterday. Come into the stream, said the game's boring. And I said, okay, why do you find it boring? Oh, because there's no seasonal content. Right. So, why is it boring? That's not a good enough reason. You've still got all these other things to do. Solo play, you've got all of this stuff to do. These are quite fun if you just want to get a quick reward. Achieve a grade B or higher to earn this reward. Easy. They're quick little fun things. Like I just don't understand why people get. I mean, I get frustrated at this game, of course, because I know it can be better. I know it can be really, really good at certain points. I've really enjoyed this expansion so far, and I personally think for people to be shitting on it 2 days after its release is completely unacceptable. And I feel like it is a fact that you cannot be that critical of a game when it's not. The raid hasn't come out. I'm not sure if there's a dungeon. If there is a dungeon, that's not come out yet. We've not had any events yet. We've not had Edge of Fate as a whole yet. So you cannot criticise it yet. It's just completely unfair. Again, with Clyde, the geezer just needs to take a break from the game. It's as simple as that. I personally feel again, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Yeah. I haven't written any of this down. This is all raw and fresh. I will never have a script. I feel like that takes away the genuine side of everything. I feel like if I'm just reading from words here, it's not the same as if I'm actually speaking to you in the moment. I don't know, man. I just think we've always had stuff to grind, right? And we've always had stuff to do, right? Whether you like it or not, that's how you feel. If you don't like something, that's completely fine. I'm not saying you can't dislike something. What I'm saying is, if you do dislike something, you have to be critical in why you don't like it and how you would improve it. That's how you form an argument. If you're just saying, oh, it's crap, it's boring, dead. Okay, why? Again, challenged someone on TikTok earlier today. Asked them why they feel that way. Couldn't tell me, left the chat. Like, it happens all the time. You know, people join. You're the only person playing Destiny. No, I'm not. Oh, the player count's low. Right? It's midweek. It's not even the weekend yet. Secondly, the player count is low because people like you are shitting on the game non-stop. Therefore, stopping other people from playing the game. You know, people are very impressionable nowadays when it comes to spending money. And as a Bungie creator, like these people are, they're advertising the game for Bungie essentially, right? That's what we're all doing. I'm doing it right now for free, right? I personally feel like if you want to make an informed decision yourself, go buy the DLC and try it. I personally feel like returning players, new players, existing players, if you're an honest person and you're a decent human being, I feel like you'll have a nice time. I feel like the story was really good. The campaign was really long, which I really liked. It took me solo legendary about 10 hours, 11 hours. I thought it was really long. I really liked it. I thought the abilities were cool, like the turning into the... But they made sense to the story, right? That's the whole point. I may not have liked the ball as much as the morphing grenade or whatever it was. But I'm not going to allow that to stop me from enjoying the DLC as a whole, right? I feel like that's what's happening to these people. They're going, oh, the puzzles, blah, 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 blah. Again, it was shown in gameplay. They said this is going to be, you're going to have puzzles to solve. And people still went ahead and bought it and are now moaning about it. And it's like, what do you mean you can't do that? Because they made it clear that there were puzzles. And again, Waffles mentioned this. The puzzles weren't really in depth. Okay, how would you make them more in depth? If you're going to moan about something, tell me how you would change it. End of fact. That's how it all should be considered from now on. If you're not able to form that sort of argument, then you don't have a point. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I've really enjoyed the DLC. I think story-wise, it's been one of the best ones. Legendary difficulty-wise, I feel like a lot of people have said this. It is a little bit easier. It's the first one I've ever done. I've done a few missions of legendary difficulty on the final shape. I did find that a little bit harder, but what I will say is that we are incredibly strong. Regardless of power level, our Guardians are very strong in a minute with Prismatic, the supers, the weapons, etc. that we've got. The builds we can make, we're very strong. So I feel like that's probably why we found it a little bit easier this time around. But I'm happy I've done it on Legendary difficulty because I got this exotic, which I'm absolutely buzzing with. I want it on a melee build. Because then obviously we're going to be able to, have hammers for days, which is what I want. But yeah, I've really enjoyed the DLC as a whole. I think I like the way the weapons look. They don't look the same as past years. Everything looks different. Everything looks clean. Everything looks tidy. I like the new way of masterwork and stuff. I like the free tokens they give everybody. No one's speaking about that. So if you're missing anything, or if you want a specific exotic focused on health, weapons, super, melee, whatever, you can focus it on that. Wait, this is the other thing. This has actually made me remember, sorry. I'm looking at my phone right now because it's just come back to me. So essentially, he moaned that you can focus a piece of armour and you will get it. Yep. That's it. That's like... I honestly, I feel like no one can be pleased in this community. At all. At all. Like... No, that argument makes no sense. Like... I don't get that. If I'm thinking here, like, right, okay, so melee there, melee here could be a bit better. So I'm going to focus a pair of legs. And look, guess what? You can go to Kepler from the portal here. You can spawn here. Also, I like to add, look how many side quests we've got. Weekly missions, Pinnacle Gear, Time Latch missions, Kepler Gear, Fated Cipher. Look at all this stuff that we've got to do after the fact, after the game is done. You can free roam on higher difficulties to get better rewards. I haven't even done the planet event yet. The Sieve is called. You unlock it once you completed the main campaign. I've not done that yet. which I'm looking forward to. But check this out. So you can go to Kepler, and you could do this throughout the story as well, by the way. So you can go to Kepler. You come to this thing here. You then go to here, and look, you can attune stuff. Okay, I want to attune that and that. Can I do two at once? No, I can only do a weapon or armor. That's fine. That's like Pale Heart. So attune an item to increase its drop chance from sources on Kelpa. Only one item may be attuned at a time. Fine, cool. So now if I go run around Kepler and shoot some things, maybe open some chests, complete some activities, guess what? It's going to give me the thing I tuned to drop. And he was saying that's a bad thing, because he wants it to be a chance, not a guarantee. And it's like, well, that's why you attune it, because you want it. As soon as you've attuned it, guess what? You can unattune it. Did you ever think of that? No. And then he was like, oh yeah, I can't use my sparrow around Kepler. Why? Why would you want to use your sparrow here? What's the point? Like, yeah, it just blows my mind that people are so negative about this game that everyone has loved at some point. And then he also had a problem with this. Looked like a mobile game. He was essentially calling the person an idiot, whoever came up with this idea. I think it's good. We've never had anything like this before. Why not? Like, it's just silly reasons that are turning people really, really against this game. And I personally don't agree with it. I think it's completely unjustified. It's unfair on people who make the game, who spend hours, well, weeks, months, years building games for us to enjoy. And I don't think it's fair at all that people slag the game off. Even horrible games that no one enjoyed. Like, let's be real. You had games like Suicide Squad. People didn't really like that. But let's be real. Did it really... Oh, that's a really good role. Happy days. Did people really need to go out as hard as they did and slam it? No, not really. People worked hard on it. So I feel like it's unacceptable how people talked about that game. And then they're also not speaking about the fun factor of the game. Look, I could turn into 4. Look, I've dropped my hammer. I'm going to run away. Look, I can call it back. Tell me that's not the sickest thing you've ever seen in your life on this game. People are focusing too much on the negatives and not focusing on what's actually good in the game and what the game is about. The game is about having fun and having a good time. And if you can't do that, stop playing the game and stop ruining it for other people. Or not even giving them a chance, because you're essentially just destroying a game. That's what you're doing. You're ruining it for everybody else by slagging it off non-stop and for no reason. Again, we're all allowed to not enjoy stuff, but that doesn't give you the right to destroy it and say people haven't tried, to say the game's trash, or it just doesn't give you the right, I'm afraid. Like, it just doesn't. It just doesn't. I can't word it any other way, and I apologise. I've just gone off on a bit of a tangent, but I just feel like if you're speaking about a game that way, that the game has changed your life, Bungie have changed your life. Again, that doesn't give them the right to get good reviews, but it gives them the right to constructive criticism, which Clyde has failed to provide, and I don't think that's fair at all. But yeah, I'm done. I feel like I may have dismantled him like a bit of a blue engram, I won't lie. So I don't mean to come across rude. It's just that I'm very passionate about this game. I love it. It's been part of my life for a very long time. I don't want to see it shat on consistently without justification. If Bungie do something stupid that the community as a whole agree on, then fine, fair enough. We can all be upset about that. But if you don't like something, A, grow up. B, explain why you don't like it. Explain what you would change. And C, try and think of stuff that you like on the game. Don't focus on the negatives. He put Edge of Failure. I don't feel like this is a failure. I feel like this is a good step in the correct direction for the story they're going to tell for the next amount of years we're going to be playing this game. I feel like it's a good start. That's what this DLC is. It's a start of what's to come. There's more to come. We haven't even had any events yet. I mean, we've got Solstice of Heroes, I believe, at some point. We've got all these things coming, and nobody can focus on anything other than what they feel is negative. Which, again, you're not really meant to do that. If you do that, there's something wrong, essentially. And just from watching Clyde, doesn't look like he loves the game anymore at all. He says he does, but he doesn't. You can see the way he speaks to his audience, the way he speaks about the game. Again, a game is meant to be fun. You're meant to chill on it. You're meant to speak with your mates. You're meant to have a good time. That is the point of a game. Yes, there are things that are meant to challenge you in it, like raids, dungeons, nightfalls, etc. But ultimately, if you're not liking a game and you force yourself to play it continuously, you're going to end up in a position that isn't ideal. And that's that, essentially. There's no... I've got to get up here. Oh, that's sick. Can I actually get up there? Hold on. Oh. Oh, I'm up! Haha! Oh. Okay, never mind. But yeah, I just... It's, yeah, completely unjustified, the whole review. I think Kepler as a planet is really, really, really pretty. I didn't even notice the hall above there. Yeah, I think the voice acting was really, really good, less cringy. I thought the missions were really thought out. Yeah, I personally think this is probably one of their best DLCs they've made. I feel like the changes to the sandbox as a whole were good. And I'm looking to see what's coming, I'm looking forward to see what's coming next, and that's the main thing, right? Yes, we've got an update to muck around and play with, but it's not the final update. It's not the end of the world. I am sorry that, if people don't like it, I'm sorry they don't. And I hope that they can, come back to the game when the next update comes out with a fresh mind, or, whatever. My point is that I just incredibly dislike the fact that I've never seen a game get so much hate, and I don't feel like it's justified. So on that note, if you have watched, I appreciate it. We'll be live tonight on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. So come on over and have a watch. If you've got any points you want to raise, drop by. I'm all up for the challenge. I really like this DLC. I know it's all opinionated. I feel like we have to give it a proper chance. My opinion might change in like a week's time, once the raid's out and etc. Who knows? But ultimately, we're 2 days in. So for people to start dropping shit like they did, it's completely unacceptable, not fair. The people worked really hard on making this game for you, by the way. And I've never seen a video / review, whatever you want to call it. Oh, speaking of the devil, he's there. I've never heard a review or anything like that sound so awful, like on a game before. For someone who gets paid to do it, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. As someone who... Maybe that would change if I was in his position, right? Maybe if I was the one who had maybe a lot of pressure to get raid ready, I didn't want to do, etc. But even... It's not like you're doing the grind on your own, right? I know I said I was going to end, but let me just say this. If he was doing that mission on his own, in pure silence, non-stop, then yeah, I kind of see your point a little bit. Maybe that's a little bit insane. But there's things to fix that. You're in control of how you feel about something, right? And your honest feelings are within a couple of minutes of experiencing it, right? So, yeah, okay, you're going to have to do one mission to get up to X amount of power. Is it the worst thing in the world? No. Have we gone through worse? Yes. So I personally feel we just need to grow up a little bit, personally. Enjoy the game for what it is, which is a looter shooter. You're there to shoot aliens and kill shit. So go and do that. Play some other stuff if you feel like the game isn't where you want it to be. Go play The Witcher. Go play COD. Go play FIFA. Fuck my, if you really want. I don't care. Excuse me. But if the game isn't for you, excuse me, and you're not enjoying it, go play something else. It's as simple as that. It's not difficult. Go do it. I don't know how else to word it, man. Again, if you have any thoughts or anything like that, chuck them in the comments. I'll respond to them. It's not a problem. Or if you'd rather save your comments for tonight's live, feel free to do so. Again, I'll quite happily answer any questions. It's not a problem. Or any of your issues with the DLC, etc. But my point will always be this: if you can't justify why you don't like it, or what you would do differently to make you like it, then your arguments are irrelevant, essentially. You can't just say something's rubbish for the sake of it. A lot of people just jump on the bandwagon and say the game's shit for being shit. There's no other game like this. I'm going to end it at that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Apologies, a bit of a rant. The first video since the giveaway as well. So giveaway winner, Norbert, well done. We had some drama with that as well, which is double decent. But yeah, if you have watched, I'll hopefully catch you tonight on the stream. So, peace out.